Well, each year in the U.S., nearly 3 million people become infected with a bacteria that is resistant to antibiotics.
And not only is that number of infected with these so-called superbugs increasing year by year, but there are more types of germs out there that are becoming resistant to treatment. Fox 13 health reporter Mandy Rock talked with a former Super Bowl champion who had his own bout with a superbug.
I had a great life. I started playing football at 12 and went to the greatest university, Mississippi State.
A true bulldog on the field and off. Johnny Cooks was a star linebacker for Mississippi State in the early 80s. He was drafted into the NFL. He won a Super Bowl with the New York Giants.
A person come from the Mississippi Delta, which is the poorest part of Mississippi. You know, that I outlived every dream I ever thought of.
The professional athlete never imagined he would find himself here at Baptist Memorial Hospital in Memphis, where he's been since mid-August.
I woke up that morning, I couldn't breathe, and I was having congestive heart failure.
His condition declined. Eventually, doctors amputated his legs and some of his fingers in order to save his heart and vital organs. Then, because his immune system was down, he became infected with a bacteria called Pseudomonas. It can cause pneumonia and is resistant to nearly all antibiotics.
When you're that sick and have a bunch of lines and tubes and things that we have to do to get you through those times, those things go through the skin and can get infected.
Dr. Steve Threlkeld is one of Johnny's doctors. He said people in healthcare settings are particularly vulnerable to what's known as superbug infections because they tend to be already sick or immunocompromised, like Johnny was.
It's unlikely to cause an important life-threatening infection in a normal, healthy, younger person walking around town. But if you're in a healthcare system, particularly chronically, and have those kinds of problems, it can be a deadly issue.
Superbugs are strains of bacteria, viruses, parasites, and fungi that are resistant to most antibiotics and other medications. The CDC recently issued a warning about a drug-resistant strain of fungus called Candida auris, which is spreading in healthcare facilities across the U.S. As superbug infections become more common, Dr. Threlkeld said it's critical to cut down on unnecessary antibiotic use.
When we give unnecessary antibiotics, again, for common colds and viral infections, which they really don't help, then we're doing nothing but helping those germs be exposed to those antibiotics, and it gives them a reason to work on getting resistant, and after time, they do.
He also said proper hand hygiene and sterilization in hospitals is important. In Johnny's case, Dr. Threlkeld said treatment was especially tricky because of the health problems he was already facing. But now Johnny is on the road to recovery.
Once he finally woke up and got in the game, it was just a matter of saying, that's where we need you to go, and this is how we need to get there. And then the extraordinary guy that he is, he took over, and you just can't really hold him back.
Johnny said his faith in God and his support from his family and friends is what gets him through.
Even though I have no legs now and I have my hands, I'm happy and blessed to be alive. So, I can be able to be with my family still, and I'm not depressed. I mean, I go through hard days, but I look at the big picture. I'm still alive and able to go be with my family and things like that. So that's the best part of my life right now.
Once Johnny fully recovers, doctors say he will go to rehab where he will learn to walk again with his new prosthetic legs. Doctors say his recovery process has been remarkable and expect him to be able to leave the hospital and released to rehab in the near future. Mandy Rock, Fox 13 News.